So, you want to get into competitive Dead by Daylight, but have absolutely no idea how to. Don't fret, your boy Soy is here. Let's get into it. Number 1, learn cock. Number 1. So, you want to get into competitive Dead by Daylight, but have absolutely no idea how to. Don't fret, your boy Soy is here. Let's get into it. Number 1, learn clock callouts. Clock callouts are going to be very crucial to getting into comp. A lot of teams don't require knowledge on it and will teach you, but some do require some type of knowledge, and some require you to absolutely know it inside and out. The team I have now, we require some type of knowledge. You don't need to know everything and anything, but you need to know the bare minimum. To explain callouts, I will pull up some clock maps. Basically, main is always 12, unless an indoor map, and this is where clock callouts get very tricky. Yet, main building is always 12, shack is always either 5, 6, or 7. Clock callouts help you 1, of course, give callouts. 2, help you keep track of the killer at all times. 3, help callouts which generators you are doing and where someone spawns as well. And last but not least, allows you to call out which pallets are dropped. Communication is key in competitive. Number 2, learn check spots. Check spots are extremely useful when looping a killer. This doesn't necessarily have to be a competitive thing. You can use it just as a casual player, but for comp, you will need to learn this. A prime example of a check spot is when you're looping in shack and you stand at the corner to check which direction the killer is heading. There's a check spot on almost every loop in the game. The most visible is on the game where the shelves are. The most hidden is on Coldman, which you have the little cracks to see through, and it's the same thing with Auto Haven. Number 3, understand competitive strategy. Remember, this is not pub matches. You're playing for bragging rights or even money. You have to understand the many strategies that come along with comp, like dying in the right places, wasting even more time when you know you are dead, how to counter certain perks, etc. For example, let's talk about Wrecker's Place. What my IGL does is call out all chases go 9 and 3. Why? Because our last gens we want to keep up to avoid the 3 gen are 9 and 3. The 3rd gen's placement doesn't matter as much unless it's like directly near 9 and 3. So typically we will have shack 9 and 3 as our 3 gen, what makes it pretty easy to pop at least one because we have people pressuring 9, people pressuring 3, and have at least one person pressuring shack. The killer can't be everywhere at once, so if you have a good gen spread, it's guaranteed will pop all gens. Killers, where your hook is very crucial, like popular gens, near an exit gate, etc. Comp rules for Survivor. So in comp, there are set rules. You have an IGL, which is your in-game leader, shot caller, which is second to the IGL. Sometimes you'll have a BM player, and some teams you will have a rat player. IGL gives all direct callouts. Shot caller makes callouts to assist the IGL, and the IGL can agree or disagree. The BM player is basically your head-on player who performs a lot of body blocks, stuns, while another survivor is in chase, etc. Basically, they're the most annoying player for the killer. Your rat player is typically your deliverance player who plays stealthy all game, even after their deliverance is used. They stealth for unhooks, stealth for gens, etc. I can touch on this for much longer, but I'd be here all day. Number 5, join league servers. Joining league servers will help you 1, find a team to join, 2, surrounds you around people with the same interests, and 3, can teach you a lot of things you may not know about. The most common league server is DBD League. The link to that will be in the description below. But there are many, and I mean many league servers. I will leave some below. I'm also starting my own league and will update you guys when it's finished. I plan to have it kind of like the DBD Community Cups, aka minimum rules and regulations. Number 6, understand restrictions. Every league has restrictions or may not have any. You can have a set ban list for perks for both Survivor and Killer, and can also have an add-on and offering ban lists. Some leagues have it to where you can't duplicate items, perks, etc. Understanding this will help you dictate if you really want to get into competitive DBD or not. A lot of people will see, oh, prove thyself is banned? That's so stupid. Meanwhile, prove thyself is one of the strongest Survivor perks even after the nerf. Number 7, understanding how a roster works. This mostly applies to killers. In comp, you never really have a set killer. You would have multiple that know a certain killer really well. Like for my team right now, we have an M1 killer, we have a Spirit killer, and we have a Wesker killer. You would really like to have a Blight player and a Hundreds player as well. You can also end up having a killer who's great at multiple killers, which is just fucking fantastic. You can also end up having a Flex player, which means they are great at both Survivor and Killer. Number 8, 1v1s and 4v1s. In comp, you will have a 1v1 ladder and a 4v1 ladder. You will have scrims and tourneys for 1v1s and the same for 4v1s. Master both. 1v1 is great because your chases and a 4v1 is basically a 1v1. Once you've mastered the 1v1s, you have mastered looping, so to say, which includes pathing, which is very crucial with the art of looping. How you play 1v1s can be very different in a 4v1 setting. In a 1v1, don't always pre-drop, concerning if you get into the habit, you'll basically use every pallet in a 4v1, which screws over your teammates. Number 9, reshade. Reshade helps a ton for PC comp players. Sorry, console kids. Yeah, reshade isn't always to make a game more pretty. It's to make colors pop, which can give survivor and killers a big advantage on both sides. Number 10, cosmetics. In pub matches, you'll run into Nias and Fangs who use some really colorful outfits. In comp, it's the opposite. Depending on the map, you should know what type of filter the map plays. Like Bargo, it has a red tint. For Autohaven, it has a grayish tint. Match your cosmetics with these realms to remain hidden for the most part. Comp is synonymous with pro. If you don't think you can compete with the pros, don't join. Time and dedication is the biggest thing when getting into the competitive scene. Most people are practicing every single day for hours at a time to win tournaments. Between scrims, practice, and tourneys, a lot of your free time is gone. If you want to remain a casual player doing tricks and CJ techs, looping pub killers on a DSi XL for 9 gens, don't do comp. I come home from work and have a good 2 hours to myself to then jump straight into practice at 7:30 and end roughly at 10:30, so my free time is kind of minimal. Of course, some teams have rest days, yet many do not. It sounds crazy, but when you're playing for money, practice is everything.